Well, good evening. I think Terry might be having problems. I'm not sure. Oh, is that me? Oh, I'm having problems even. All right, there we go. Let's. I don't know what's happened to Terry. It's kept us in the dark. Right. Okay. That's thrown us totally. Good evening. Welcome along. It's a Sunday, another edition of the Sunday Bunch. Lots to talk about, and of course we are live, which means you can have your say via the live chat as well. At the moment, it's just three of us tonight. Well, it's two of us at the moment, but it's myself, Terry, and Lee. Hey, there we go. So I've just got to I've got to try and dress this up as best I can. I'm going to get it looking. Oh, there you go, looking all smart. Lee over in Spain. How's your day been?
Good evening, buenas noches, Philly. It's been, I don't know what, every time I come on here, we've either getting beat or it's raining. And today it's both. So I haven't been doing much. And it looks like Terry's been suffering from the blackout that we suffered in Spain and Portugal on Monday.
Oh, yeah, of course. Did you get hit with that as well?
Yeah, 12:30 it went off and it didn't come back until like 10:30 at night. So,
oh, dear. Right, okay. Terry, you been out and about today?
I've had an absolutely fantastic day. I've been busy. I've been up 3 fells, 720 meters high, just getting back, 6.5 mile walk, just smashed me Sunday lunch and got in here just in time to enjoy a nice kind of ready with you, tremendous people.
There you go. What about that?
That's dedication.
You've had a better day today than you did yesterday, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%, mate,
100%. Right, okay. Like we say, we are live, which means you can have your say via the live chat. Already on there, first up, the Stardust. Tony Lee is on there saying, good job we start the season like we did. Otherwise, would have been going down. I think that's right. DJ Sizzler Watson on there. Tony Huntington, David Watwell, loads and loads. We'll try and include as many of you as we can. Sunderland 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1. I would just want your thoughts first of all. We saw the team lineup. I got it. I was in the weed sheet, read it out. I thought, here we go. So, what were your thoughts, Lee? When you saw the lineup?
Yeah, it was the same as the week before, wasn't it? The only difference was it Circum was back in the lineup this time. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with it. And after the week that they had in Portugal, you'd expected to be fired up, but I guess we'll come on to it later. It wasn't to be. But yeah, I was happy with the lineup.
Do you think in Portugal, do you think they had that blackout and that's affected them then? I never thought about that.
Well, they did, didn't they? They were affected, but Labrie said it didn't have a massive effect. It was only a couple of hours for them, probably. So.
Oh well, there you go. To be honest, I wish the lights had gone out yesterday because that was just an absolute shower of shite. Terry, you saw the lineup. What did you think?
Yeah, personally, I would have had Lefay in the centre and had Isidore on the left and had Ring on the bench. But apart from that, I was pleased Circum started. It was good to see Ballard back on the substitutes bench. So yeah, apart from that, it was all right.
Right, okay. Just very quickly on the chat then, Ryan 1994 said, hello, keep the faith. I think he thinks he's Jacob here. Keep the faith, everyone. It's never over until it's over. Stephen Martin says, hi again, shambles, what a joke we are. Andrew F, evening all, last couple of months, utter rubbish. Change of promotion, 0 chance of promotion, I think that should say. There you go. 22 points from the last 18 games, relegation form. That's Rooster Coburn says that. Massive dip in form. I mean, we were saying, I'll tell you what, before we go on, we've got 96 people on the stream already. We're trying it to 100 likes if we can. If you just hit that thumbs up for us, that would certainly help us. Was at the match yesterday and we was chatting about it and saying, you know, we've never seen such a drastic change in form. I mean, we, you know, talk about from hero to zero. I mean, it's just a massive dip. We've gone from what we were to actually relegation form. I mean, we, like Tony Lee said on the chat, we would have been going down if we'd not had that start. What do you think the reasons for that could be, Terry?
I reckon it's injuries, and I reckon it's obviously because we were so far clearing into the playoffs with games to spare. I mean, it's splitting the fan base at the moment. A lot of people are saying that, you know, this is relegation form. We haven't got a clue what we're doing. We look hopeless. We've lost everything at this moment in time. Regis Debris, you know, it just looks lost on the touchline. And then you got the other side of the fan base who are saying, right, what's the point? What is the point of putting your body on the line, giving it 100% chance of an injury? You've got nothing to play for. Why would you do that? Why would you put your body on the line when you got the bigger fish to fry coming up in the playoff semi-finals? So it's really split opinion, you know. That I just did a video today on my channel. I'll be uploaded later on tonight to do with this, you know. And like I say, we're going to have to just put our faith that we can actually turn up and perform in the semi-finals, because we all have to believe. We've all got to get behind the lads, get behind the head coach, whether we like it or not, and really, you know, hopefully sing off the same hymn sheet and turn up. And I hope the lads turn up and perform against Coventry, because, you know, this is the massive double match coming up.
Right, okay. I'll come on to that just now. Quickly want to go to the chat. John Parr says, pure shit yesterday. No chance in the playoffs. David Walker said it was the best team apart from Mundell, the team he put up. Really hope he's okay for Friday. Tony Huntington, hi guys. Do you think it's the players not wanting to up so they get big moves to big wages teams? I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's what I was sort of echoing last week. You're saying, you know, one half of the fan base are saying, you know, why put yourself on the line and risk injury for when you need it for these, hopefully these next 3 games. And I was with that last week, and I thought, oh, I was accepting this is why we've not been very good. But I really thought, hand on heart, that yesterday we would have gone out there. I saw the team. I was over the moon when I saw the team. I thought, get in, he's going to go for it. I thought we're going to good 3 or 4-0 win, bit of confidence going in and all that. And it was dreadful. And I am a little bit worried now. I was last week, I was like, I'm not bothered. I'm fine with it. He's got a plan. I trust him and always doing. But I've got to admit, I am worried. Lee, massive dip in form. Any reason for that, do you think?
I think several reasons, Philly. I think changing style, not resting players earlier in the season, and obviously like getting to the playoffs, confirming the playoff place, a month ago, something like that now, just probably makes the players switch off. I think it was kind of telling that Chris Meppen said yesterday that subconsciously we've lost a bit of motivation since we found out that we got in the playoffs. And then you look at our form earlier in the season, Philly, like the first 12 games of the season, we won 9, drew 1, lost 2, 23 goals scored, 9 goals conceded, 28 points. The last 12 games, we've got 4 wins, 2 draws, 6 defeats, only scored 8 goals in 12, 13 conceded, and only 14 points. So I think there's like a massive gap that's been created in terms of the way we play, because I think we don't play the same way. You can see the players that there's little movement on the pitch. There's a lack of movement. They're very rigid with the shape. They don't want to go out of the shape. When we get the ball back, we allow the opposition to get back in the position so easily that by the time we get the ball to Patrick Roberts or Lefebvre on the wings, they've got 3 defenders marking them. So, and they're always going to come inside. So, because they're very wide anyway, naturally, they always come inside, and they've always got 3 players closing them down. So a lot of people blame Patrick Roberts. People might blame Lefebvre for not being creative much, but they haven't got much chance when we getting the ball forward really slow. So I think all I'd like to see is just like a little bit more movement, a little bit more aggression, and play like it means something, because we haven't really seen that for the last 5 games. And then we had people saying that, oh, well, Oxford's got something to play for, Blackburn's got something to play for, QPR had nothing to play for yesterday. And they played much better than us. They wanted it more.
Right, okay. You are now officially the Spanish stato of the channel. Chucking all them stats out, you've become the new Michael Bowers. He used to do a bit of that. Just quickly on the chat, Glyn Jones says, what was Dan Neal's role in the game yesterday? Lost. Rusty Mackham in Gran Canaria says, lineup makes no difference. It's always going to be the crap style of play. John Parr says lack of experience and nerves are a big factor. We've got a bunch of kids. Fair point. Rusty Mackham again says Mundell won't make a blind bit of difference here. He's no world beater at his best. Andrew F going on about if we did get promoted, we're going to need 10s, 50, 100 million on players' wages. We don't have that kind of money. Listen, if we go up and come back down, there's 100 million there at least anyway. So it's not like we don't want to go up or shouldn't be feeling that we can go up. Just very quickly, 40 likes at the moment. Just hit that thumbs up if you would. We do try and get to 100 on a Sunday. And don't forget, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, and that will help out the channel. Disillusion, definitely. I mean, it was an absolute crock of shite. I'm sorry for the language and all that, but yesterday we did the fan cams when we came out. The fan cams are actually on our channel. If you've not seen them yet, have a look. And I've never struggled as much to try and get people to come and talk to us. People just did not want to know. They were absolutely up a height. But one thing what was said, there's a guy on there, and he was adamant that the Portuguese coach we have now, which I'm assuming is the one who replaced Mike Dodds, is the main factor. He says, ever since he's come along, we've just been utter rubbish. Your thoughts on that, Terry?
Yeah, I've heard one or two people saying that we've gone really defensive ever since he's come along, and we're playing that slow, passive football at the back. Whenever we get a chance to go forward, we seem to turn and put it sideways and backwards. And this is the style of football we did have at one point, I think, under Dodds. And we seem to have gone from this attacking, really all-out intensity, in-your-face football to, again, we just seem to be dawdling around at the back. Now, I don't know if that's the new Portuguese manager or whether that's just the way Lefebvre plays full stop. Regis Lebris plays these team. Look at it, Regis Lebris come in. Nobody out there predicted Regis Lebris was the man to come in as Sunderland head coach. It was out of the blue. Nobody really heard of him. He's got no credentials, to be honest, and there's no guarantee he is the Messiah. He is the man to do a good job. So, if all fails this season, then we reap what we sow. But again, on the other flip side of things, it could be the one that's saying, right, there's no point, giving 100%. Let's really turn it on for the semi-finals against Coventry. Now, a question I would like to ask you is, now Ballard's fit. Is it Ballard and Mepham in defence, and do we drop 09 to the bench?
Well, I mean, who knows? Let me quickly go up the chat here, because Ryan1994 says, since Mike Dodds has left, we went downhill, which is what we're sort of saying with the Portuguese coach coming in. You're right, Terry. I mean, people are saying that we were an attacking side, which we were. The start of the season, we were brilliant. We're thinking we weren't doing that sit-back thing, which Sunderland, always have tended to do. Yet, since this coach has come in, we are more defensive, and so maybe there is something in that. Stephen Martin says, "What do you think? What do you think will happen if we get beat 2-0 away and 3-0 home?" I don't know if that means win 3-0 at home or get beat. Well, they'll be along, won't they? Tony Lee says Lefebvre should have been given an extended run in the centre of midfield, other than 2 games out wide. He's been dreadful. He was shocking yesterday. Absolutely shocking. Now, we're going to get onto that anyway. John Nisbet says 09 pathetic, along with Neil Rigg out of his depth. Job lacking a yard of pace. Roberts, dear me. there's not a lot. Nobody really gets any praise from yesterday for me. Have we asked you about the Portuguese coach, Lee? Have I come on to you?
No,
for that
not yet.
Right,
No.
go on, away you go.
No, I don't think you can read too much into that, the Portuguese coach, because when he came in, he was an understudy to Mike Dodds. He wasn't really involved in touchline discussions during matches when Dodds was there. An interesting comment is that I've got a bit of a friendship with the Sunderland France account on X, and he was saying that the similarities between Lebris now this season with us, the way it's tailed off, is very similar to what happened to him in France in his second season with Lorient. That he started off playing like an attacking type of football, high press, but then the second season he went defensive, and he just mentioned that it seems very deja vu, and so I think it could possibly just be Lebris and the way he wants us to play.
Right, okay. Tony Lee on the chat says Pato seems to have shed some timber. I didn't take. Our lass would notice that because she always looks at his shorts for some reason. I don't know. It must be a woman thing. Coffee Goblin.
Front or back, Philly?
What's that? Sorry.
Front or back? Front or back? Does she look at the shorts?
Always the front, because she doesn't like to look at the front of my shorts for some reason. I don't know. So anyway, Coffee Goblin. Ballard looked class when he came on. The Stardust says drop Neil, put 09 in holding midfield. Right, okay. I mean, all along until yesterday, I mean, I was saying, Lebris knows exactly what he's doing. I can't see it, but I hope it's some massive psychological game he's playing where people are going, wow, Sunderland are not bothered, they've lost 5 in a row here. Forget them. Because at the moment, the 4 teams in the playoffs, we look like the easy option. But, playoff games, we're out of form, right? We're lost 5 in a row with 6 without a win. But somebody said yesterday, it doesn't matter because the playoffs are one-offs, the cup finals. So form and stuff like that just goes out of the window. So, all this, it doesn't matter because it's like a cup final. Do you agree, Terry?
Well, it doesn't matter if you're playing poor football and if your team's not on form. I mean, you really need to go into these games with confidence and with a run of form. And I was hoping myself yesterday we would turn it on. And to be honest, I mean, QPR turned up. They got the early goal. I didn't really think they threatened much after that. I thought we just couldn't create. We looked really inept at creating anything up top. I thought we just want to walk it into the back of the net. We don't want to have a shot from outside the penalty box. We've got players like Neil, Job, Lefay, who can shoot from out the penalty box, and we just don't seem to want to do that. We want to have that extra touch all the time. Whenever we get the ball, we want to pass it sideways and backwards. We want to put it back into trouble instead of finding the space. And I just feel like it's just... Up until yesterday, I was feeling confident going into the playoffs, but after watching yesterday, I'm thinking, where do we find that extra bit of form? Where do we find that extra 15, 20% from? And we really need the players have really got to wake up, slap themselves in the faces, and really work, and put the heart on the sleeves and give 100% this week. Because at the moment, I'm losing the will, losing the all belief that we can actually do it in the playoffs. I've said we'll make it at Wembley. I'm still going to believe that we can make it at Wembley, but my head's like the split opinion on social media. My head's like 2 ways. One part of it is saying, well, we can still turn it on. We've got it in the bag. We're not fourth for a reason. We're fourth for a reason. We've been brilliant majority of the season. We're up there. We've gotten to the playoffs with games to spare. We know what we're doing. But the other half is saying we're absolutely shite. Yesterday was absolute garbage. We couldn't create anything up top. It took us to 85 minutes to get a shot on target, and that was Ballard's header, I think. And that's just poor form going into the playoff semi-finals.
Right, okay. I want to give a shout out to Mick S on there, 77 years old, still watching. So thanks for tuning in there as well. Stephen, agreeing with you, Terry, down there. Tony Lee, he's agreeing with you, Lee, about he did the same about Regis Labrie. Good start, then a shit show, apparently, it says down there. But does form really matter? I mean, and the fact that we've not been winning these games, they are the cup finals, that, you know, it goes out the window. Do you not agree?
If you're playing well, Philly, and you get beat in 5 games in a row and you're just unlucky, I think you can kind of feel a bit hard done by. But the fact that we've put in 5 performances where we haven't looked like scoring, we haven't looked like winning, I think that then form is a matter of importance. And for me, it's just like the lack of, as I said before, the lack of movement, the lack of cohesion. We seem to be scared to be on the ball, and we're not creating anything. So, yeah, I think it is important because we haven't been playing well.
Right, okay. People here, I'll come to you just now, Terry. Somebody saying I've lost it. Oh, bring Mowbray back in for the playoffs. Coffee Goblin saying there. Terry, you want in there?
Yeah, one thing I want to say as well, like, I totally disagree with them going away to Portugal for warm weather training. Like, I just don't get at all what that brings to the table. You know, the weather over here was 25 degrees last week, so what's the point to go to Portugal? What an absolute waste of money. All that travelling expenses they could have done, they could have used that money elsewhere. For me, that was just an absolute waste of time. And travelling on airplanes, this, that, and the other might make me even more tired. I don't know. But for me, I think that was just nobody deserved a holiday in Portugal, simple as.
Right, okay. Well, I'll come back to you, Leon, where you said, yeah, form out the window and stuff, but that's fine if you're playing well and stuff like that. I'll slightly disagree because I'll use the Mags game. Whenever we played the Mags, we went through that thing where we were doing absolutely crap, and then we'd sack the manager, come in, he'd play the first game, and then his second game tended to be against the Mags, and we'd go out and we'd beat them. It happened with DeCanio, it happened with Big Sam. I'm sure there's another one. So, you know, we weren't playing well, and because you know, was that?
Was it Gus Poirier?
Possibly. There's but it's happened with a few of them, and because the derby games are not, you know, form does go out the window, and you know, I suppose it's maybe something that I'm just clinging on to, because, and it's that thing where, you know, I mean, the laws of probability, you know, do we lose again? We've got to eventually, you know, sort of get a result somewhere. Look, we got 161 people on the stream at the moment. Thanks for tuning in. We got 60 likes. Just hit the thumbs up. We like to get to 100 if we can on a Sunday, so please do that. And more importantly, if you're watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the little subscribe button. It's free to subscribe, and that does help out the channel. We're not scoring goals. I said yesterday when I was at the game, I can't remember the last goal I saw back at the stadium. I know it's not that long ago, but I mean, my memory's terrible. We need goals. A few people were saying about playing 2 up front. Is that what we need to do? Do we need to now go and give that a shot in the playoffs, Lee?
For the away leg, I would suggest not. If we're going to play the same way as we are now, slow build up, you can put as many forwards as you want up there. I mean, yesterday, Mayenda didn't get a touch, and we've been raving about Mayenda recently. I think everything needs to come from the midfield. You've got Chris Rigg, Job, and Dan Neil, who they're just basically jogging around the centre circle. They're not moving off the ball. They're not creating anything. And then you've got Roberts on the right, and you've got Lafayette on the left. And like I said before, they're just they're playing too wide, and because naturally they're going to come inside on their stronger foot, they're just crowded out. So I don't think two forwards will make a difference until our midfield start to move more off the ball like they were in the start of the season, and they do the high press that we had at the start of the season. We win the ball back high up the pitch, and we show a bit more intensity, a bit more urgency, and a bit more aggression.
Right, okay. Let me before I come to you, Terry. Mick S on the chat says the board don't want promotion. I've been telling Terry this for months. He's 77 years, supporter born and bred. Seen this time and time again. Our club. Mick, I can't agree with you on it. I can't believe that the board would not want promotion. I mean, it's we get promoted, the value of the club goes up, especially nowadays. The sort of money what's involved, but that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that. Tony Lee says, go to Portugal if we win the playoffs, but not before. Ian Brown says, great to see Larson yesterday, and his passion and respect for the club. Pixel Rich is agreeing with Mick there, saying he's wondering that himself if we don't actually want promotion. Terry, two up front, could it be a way forward?
It's not for me for the away leg against Coventry. Definitely not for me. If we need some sort of different midfield, we've got to start Lafay in midfield, haven't we? We've got to put Lafay in there with Job and Neil for me, and maybe put Isidore on the wing, and hopefully Mundle. I was surprised Mundle wasn't on the bench yesterday, so obviously he's had some training, but he's not fit enough for the bench just yet, which is a bit of a disappointment because we really could have done with him down at Coventry for the first leg of the playoffs. But for me, I wouldn't put two up front just yet, not against Coventry away from home. If at home and we need to, then fair enough. But look at scoring goals and strikers has been an issue for a few seasons now. We've said it for a long time now. We're not brought in an out-and-out striker. And I know it's not easy to bring in an out-and-out striker. The hard to find. But we, as Sunderland, we should have a good striker at this club, an out-and-out striker. We've got kids like Miende coming through. He should be kind of the backup striker. We should have more of an experienced striker in this side. Like a Johnny on the spot, someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. We've been missing that for a long time now, but they won't pay the money to do that. And this is the situation we're going to be in until we actually start spending a bit more money.
Right. Yeah, I've lost my train of thoughts there. People saying about Dodge coming back, but they're saying Dodge is not doing a great job at Wickham, so wouldn't bring him back. Marianne and Carl Taylor, our record against Coventry has been shocking, but there's no better time to put the record straight. Let's do it when it matters. Yeah, I mean, records are there to be broken. It's funny, though, we was laughing because at the match yesterday, I was saying about if we do manage to get to Wembley and we get Sheffield United have been in the playoffs 8 times and never, ever won in the playoffs. And and then they turn around and says, yeah, but if ever the record's going to be broken, it'll be Sunderland who do it because we're renowned for that. Yes, Terry.
Look, I mean, let's face it, Sheffield United are a good side. Yesterday they're playing Blackburn. Blackburn could have got to the playoffs yesterday if they'd won. I know the results have gone their way, but Sheffield got a result. So they're in good form. They're a good side. There's no easy game in the playoffs, and we do look the weakest out of the 4 at this moment in time. Simple as.
Right, there is this thing as well. I do believe I know the reason for the lack of form, us getting beat, and all that. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. And Terry, you are not going to like this, all right? But it is my watch strap. All right, because I know a thing is right. Every time when we get beat, I change the color of my watch strap. Right, I change the color, and then we go on a winning run again, and we're all right. And then the next time we get beat, I change it again. Right. Well, I changed it when we got beat, and then the following week we got beat again. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. And I've had my white watch strap on for the last 4 weeks or something like that, and we've lost every time. So when we got beat yesterday, I've changed it to yellow. All right, and now that's it. We're going to.
When was the last game we won, Philly?
The last game we won, I think it was when I had a different color watch strap on. I think Terry is when it was. So we're all right. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to be all right. We're going to Wembley because I've changed my watch strap. Right. Okay. I'll tell you what. Tommy Watson came on yesterday, and he got booed. Right. I want your thoughts on that, Terry.
It's not for me. I wouldn't boo any player that comes on the pitch for Sunderland. Simple as. End of the day. look, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know what's going on with Speakman in the club. But, you know, he's been there since he was a little kid. He's loyal to Sunderland. He's been a Sunderland fan, and a good opportunity's coming along for him. And I wish him all the best. But, you know, at the end of the day, I wouldn't boo anybody that comes on the pitch. You know, they come on the pitch to play, you know, for our team that we've supported all our lives. I don't see the point in booing anybody. That's just my personal opinion. But everyone is entitled to their opinions. And if people want to boo, it's up to them. It's their choice. But I wouldn't do it personally.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'm not... I don't mind. I know a lot of people just will not boo the team. All right. Booing the team off, I don't have a problem with it. You go in, you pay your money, and if that's how you feel and you feel they've been really bad, then I haven't really got a problem with that. I just didn't like the booing of Tommy Watson when he came on. You know, like I say, he's been at Sunderland since being a nipper, and he could still. Yeah, he could score the goal. What gets us into the Premier League? He's still part of our squad, you know. And you know, as a Sunderland fan, he you know, what better way to sort of sign off? So I think booing him was.
Is he allowed to play in the playoffs? I've had conflicting reports on this. I don't know. Is he allowed to play in the playoffs?
Well, unless there's something been signed. And agreed with Brighton, but I can't see that being allowed.
I have to say, since his injury, he's been a shell of his former self. I have to agree with that. He never looked like anything like he was before that.
Right. Okay. Lee, your thoughts on Tommy Watson getting booed yesterday?
I don't think booing any player individually, Philly, is a good sign, especially if he's one of our players still. It doesn't help. I mean, fans are frustrated that the signing got announced in the middle of the season. Didn't help. Why was it announced? Why couldn't it have been kept under wraps and announced at the end of the season? So, yeah, I don't agree with booing him. And I think he had a tough game, didn't he, down at Bristol City, where he had a nightmare game. And he played the whole 90 minutes, I think. And I think that was a bit of a wake-up call for him, because I think the 2 games after that, he actually started one. And he did all right. He looked a bit more hungry to play well, putting his foot in. And yesterday when he came on, I thought he did all right as well. Looked to get the ball forward, was like getting stuck in. And regarding Terry's point, I would imagine that he can play. I don't see why he wouldn't, because the transfer window doesn't open until what, July 1st or end of June. I think that's when the contracts expire. So I imagine that he will play some part. But yeah, I think with him announcing that he's leaving at the moment that he did, I think that's kind of put a damper on his progress and his minutes on the pitch, because I think if that hadn't been announced, no doubt he would have been playing more games on the left wing, and we would have been seeing Lefebvre more centrally. But I think that the fact is that they don't want to play Watson on the left because of what's gone on, and they want to play Lefebvre there, and they'll give Watson time to get a few minutes here and then. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing.
Right, okay.
Which feeds into that someone's opinion of saying they don't want to get promoted, because why would you even announce it? It's nothing but going to put a damper on certain things, aspects of the game. It only makes more negativity at the club to announce he's leaving. It didn't make any sense at all to do that.
Right. Coffee Goblin says poor form, booing a ban. Danny Coyle says Watson had the winning goal at Wembley. Starters, what about callback? Yeah, he was a bit of a shit house yesterday, wasn't he? Ian Wilkinson, maybe it's a yellow fronted lucky job strike. Well, it needs changing, possibly. I was driving to work on Friday night, and I overtook this car, and the registration was that, what I've just put in the chat. And I mean, I was whizzing past, so I do believe it was Tommy Watson. So there you go. But I didn't boo him as I overtook him. I gave him the finger. No, I didn't. Enzo was dreadful yesterday. Couldn't even pass the ball, and is that just an off day? I mean, is it 28 million we're going to pay for him if we get promoted? I mean, and basics. I mean, Terry, just an off day for him, do you think?
Well, let's face it, there wasn't many had it on day yesterday, can you? So we can't really signal anybody out being poorer than the rest. I think the majority of them were, about average, weren't they? Average to poor for the majority of the game. But yeah, I think he needs to be in the middle. I think shoving him on the wing and like Lee says, we're so slow in the build-up. It was the same last season at times with Jack Clark. We were that slow by the time Jack Clark got the ball. He had 3 players around him and he couldn't do anything with it. I don't think anybody can. We've got to play a lot faster through the middle, a lot faster, spread the ball out wide a lot faster. And until we change our style of play, I think both wingers will suffer. Roberts will suffer. And whoever's on the left will suffer because we're just slow. We're just, passing from side to side, backwards. We get the midfield. There was a free kick at one point yesterday, like 2/3 up into QPR's half. We ended up going back to the keeper. I think, what the hell's going on? Let's get a bit of momentum going about you. It wasn't until the last 5-10 minutes we actually started driving forward, started put a bit of effort in. We had a couple of chances on goal.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, I want to go to the chat here. John Nesbitt says, he watched Coventry Borough yesterday. Both teams would turn Sunderland over. A much better team, Sheffield United, showing us how it's done. Glenn Jones, why would you agree to sell Watson before the end of the season? Coffee Goblin, did we announce it or was it Brighton? We've got a Sky Blues fan on there. Wado, thanks for tuning in. Coventry, we'll see you in the semi-finals. We've got a Mag tuning in as well. Good to see you want to see what's happening against the big boys in the northeast. Tony Lee says 10 million for Watson. A great bit of business for us. Disagrees with booing him. Enzo, terrible yesterday. Lee, your thoughts on that?
I think if you put him on the left wing, Phil, he's going to be ineffective because he's not a left winger. He's a number 10. And if you look back at our previous number 10s, Pritchard, Ahmad, what they like to do is they like to have a free roll behind the forward. And when they have a free roll, it means exactly that. They can wander wherever they want and move around and pick up passes, look for the ball in different areas of the pitch. But if you stick him on the left-hand side where he's stuck to the wing and he's going to come inside because his strongest foot is his right foot, you're not going to get the best out of him because he's going to turn the trouble every time. And the only pass he can do is sideways or backwards because he hasn't got any space to move into. So I think the more we put him on the left wing, the less we're going to see the best out of him.
Right.
Look,
okay.
if he starts on the left wing against Coventry, then we know that there's some people in charge are clueless because it's absolutely it's just stupidity to play him out of position in the big games. You've got to put him as number 10, and that's simple.
Lee.
Yeah, but my point is that Mundo's probably not going to be fit for the away game at least, and I wouldn't risk him for the away game. But then what do you do then? Do you put Tommy Watson on the left to start in a game of that magnitude away from home?
Or even Isidore. Isidore was a left winger at points, and he's probably more of a natural left winger than Lefay is. So I mean, I'd rather have Lefay in his natural position and have either Watson or Isidore on the left.
Right, okay, let me quickly jump in there because I want to say a massive thank you to Taffy Mackham, who's donated £5 via the super chat. I think it's supposed to be he doesn't love Philly and Mad. Thank you very much, Taffy Mackham, down there. Don't forget, of course, you can use the super chat. As we said many times, this channel doesn't make a profit, and any donations are gratefully accepted. So if you want to use the super chat, there's a little $ at the bottom of the chat there. Just click on that and you can say how much you'd like to donate. But you can still comment for free. You don't have to do that. It's still free to do so. But like we said, all donations are gratefully accepted. Just very quickly back on the chat here. Chris Day, I've noticed this on social media as well. Why did Enzo not have the club badge on his shirt? I don't know if you've seen that on social media, but the badge is actually missing on his shirt. Now, whether that's because from kissing it and licking it or whatever, I don't know. Good to see a bit of positivity in the chat as well here from Jarrah Andy. FTM says, the season's done. We'll lose both legs. There you go. So there's no point going to watch them. He also says Regis out there as well. before I move on to Coventry, as it is, I'll tell you what, we've got 77 likes at the moment. So if we can get another, was that 23 people hit the thumbs up, that'll hit the magic 100. We've got 175 people on the channel, on the stream at the moment as well. So hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you've not already done so. Free to subscribe, and it does help us out. Any positives at all to be taken from yesterday, Lee?
From yesterday, 41,000 fans in the stadium. Average of 40,000 fans all stadium, and 21 out of 23 away games sold out. I mean, the fans are behind the club. The fans are there every match. It's just that the players need to pick it up and turn it on. It's as simple as that. We haven't become a bad team overnight. I mean, it's been said before. We finished fourth players. We finished with 76 points. I think if you look at the top four, overall in the course of the season, those four teams have finished where they're supposed to finish. And then we're better than Coventry. We know that. We're better than Bristol City. Sheffield United, it's 50-50 because we've won one and we've lost one. We know that on our day, we've got a very, very good team if we can just make it click. But to make it click, Lebris has to change his approach to the game. He has to basically let the players, they're a young team, young players want to run around. And the way we're playing right now, the young players are playing with shackles on. They're in such a rigid shape that they don't want to lose the shape. And that, for me, is the thing that needs to change. We need to take these two games and then just basically let the players play with the shackles off, let them run with their energy. If they give everything and we get beat, fair enough. But if we play the same way as we're doing in the last 5 games or so, then it's not going to end well. Simple as that.
Right, okay. On the chat, Miles Percival says that 09 was up to his mischief again yesterday, giving Colback a wedgie. I don't know if you've seen the picture of that. Good on him, because he was a ginger shit house yesterday. I mean, the length of time it took him to come off the pitch when he was subbed as well. He was just tearing the Mickey. What I do like is a bit of positivity, because I like to think I'm always a glass half full, and I'm going to side with Mark Rodham, Regis, the master hustler. Big surprises coming in the 2 legs. God, I hope so. Terry, any positives to be taken from yesterday at all?
I totally agree with Lee, his comments there, but I would say positives are Dennis Serkin getting back, getting lots of game time. That's going to be a positive thing. Another week to get him sorted out. And Ballard coming back in. I think Ballard looked really good when he come on. And for me, I know it will never happen, but I would start Mepham and Ballard as me 2 centre-backs. That's what I would play. But could that be the changes that's going to be happening in the semi-finals? Could it be Lee Fair playing on the left-hand side and then moving to the middle? So for me, they're the two things I would change for the semi-finals.
Right, okay. Just very quickly then, back on the chat. Coffee Goblin says, can we swap Job for Jude for 3 games? SFC Tom says he'd rather have Job. So there you go. Right, okay. We know it's Coventry. It's renowned that it's our bogey team. I've said, and I mean, Lee said it a few weeks ago as well, probably better to play Coventry over the 2 legs than a one-off. So how do you think we should tackle the first leg? Because for me, I think we've got a better chance away than we have at home. I think at home, I just think, I think we really need to go for it. I know you two had said about, when I'd said earlier about playing 2 up front, and you're saying, I wouldn't for the away leg. I think we should. I think we should really go for it in that first leg. And I think that, because it's nailed on, they'll get a goal at the Stadium Light. It's nailed on for me. So, I think if we come back with a 1-0 defeat or even a draw, I'll be a bit edgy in the home game. So, Terry, how should we tackle the first leg away at Coventry?
There's 3 games that stand in my mind. I mean, Sheffield United away, I thought we were much better side. You know, we missed that penalty, and then obviously later on in the game they scored the winner. But I thought for the majority of the game we were the better side. Burnley away, I thought we handled them early doors, and they never looked a threat. And I thought again the second half we really turned it up. We ended up going 2 up top, I think it was eventually, and we were the better side. And Middlesbrough, where's that? I've never seen any passion since the Middlesbrough game. Dan Neil was really up for that one. He showed a lot of passion in that game. I want to see that Dan Neil turn up. You know, that we played Swansea away 2 down, and then they turned up again with a bit of passion and drive and really going for it. That's the team I want to see against Coventry. I don't want to see any sitting back and soaking up pressure and just trying to get a draw and coming away, trying to get a draw away from home and then taking it home. I agree with you, Philly. I think we've got a good chance of winning away. I think we have struggled for the majority of the season at home. So a lot of games this season at home I've watched and I thought we've been the worst team out of the two ever since probably the Plymouth 2-2 draw. Even the Coventry at home with 2 wonder goals from Isidore and Serkin, 2 up, cruising that game. Then we just threw it away, sitting back or whatever it was. So we are better when we are on the offensive. Obviously, we can't just go, and just do, just all out attack. But I think they're the games for me that stand out, and that shows we've got it in the tank, we've got it in the bag. We can do that sort of thing if we can turn up. It wasn't like a different head coach then. That was Regis Labrie doing all that then. I want to see that guy turn up with that kind of style of football, and hopefully we can come away with a victory.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, Coffee Goblin says we finished higher in the away games table than home games, which is what we're saying. John Smith says, I'm a happy clapper. Watch the game through tinted specs. John, I've got to say, I've seen we've been shit. We've been diabolical these last 2 games. It's been terrible to watch. I'm not stupid. It is. We have been absolute garbage. We really have. But I'm just a positive person, and I just think, these games, forget the form and forget all that, because these are cup finals, so it doesn't really matter. We're going into it, and that's the way I would rather approach. That's how I look at it. If that makes me a happy clapper, I'll be a happy clapper for you. Sorry.
No, there's just been no point in the last few games to really put 100% in and put your body on the line and risk getting an injury. And I can see where, like, some Mepham is basically saying, like, well, we've lost a bit of motivation because we're in the playoffs. We want to save ourselves for the playoffs. I get both sides of it. I understand that, the fans want the team to turn up. You go to Oxford, you want to see performance. You go to Coventry, you want to see performance. You go to Bristol City, you want to see performance. Obviously, that wasn't their fault, going out to 10 men. And I want to say yesterday as well, come on, how bad was the referee yesterday? He was absolutely shocking. 3 or 4 massive challenges on the Sunderland players, meaty challenges, disgusting challenges, and nothing happened. And we tapped into a couple of their players and we got yellow cards. Honest to God, he was awful. He was probably the worst referee I've seen this season.
Yeah, there was. I agree, Terry. There was some shocking decisions yesterday. Just before I come to you, Lee, Tony Huntington says we haven't got the double over Borough for years. That changed. Now let's change the results over Coventry. Absolutely, let's do that. Lee, how would you tackle the first leg away to Coventry? Should we not be going for it? Have we not got a better chance away from home and actually hit them and bring a result back to the Stadium of Light?
Ideally, yes, Philly, but I think confidence is quite low in the players at the minute. So I would approach it very cautiously and just make sure that we avoid a heavy defeat, or we can scrape either a narrow defeat or a draw. Because obviously we've only scored 1 goal in the last 5, conceded 7. So I think there's a lack of confidence there. I think we need to approach it very cautiously and make sure that we get back to the Stadium of Light and have a chance of getting something at the Stadium of Light. But as you mentioned before, Philly, I'm a bit of a statter. I took these off social media from James Copley from the Sunderland Echo. The last 10 matches between us and Coventry, we've had 5 defeats and 5 draws. We've no win since 2007, which was at the Stadium of Light. No away win since 1985. 2 away league wins against Coventry in 57 years, and we've never won at the CBS Arena. So, I mean, listen, those are all stats, and it's not a defining point, but we do have a better team than Coventry on paper. It's just we need Labrise to pick the right team, to pick the right tactics, the right style of player, and we need the players to be up for it. It's as simple as that. If we tick all those boxes, we can get a positive result.
Right, Terry, you want in there?
Yeah, I don't believe in bogey teams. I don't believe in this bogey thing to do with Coventry. It's coincidence, just coincidence over the years. That's all it is, pure coincidence. We've just lost on that game any given Sunday, and that's the way it is. Bollocks to the bogey side. We'll beat these, and we'll turn them over, and we'll get to Wembley.
Oh, Terry, man, everybody has a bogey team, and Coventry are our bogey team. Simple as that.
It's just it's a coincidence. Stats are to be broken.
Terry, no.
Stats mean nothing. Stats mean
Terry.
Absolutely bollocks.
Terry.
Nothing at all, right?
Terry,
we'll beat these. Don't worry about that.
Nah, Terry, ask the yellow watch strap. You just that'll keep you right.
I'll go and change my toilet roll. I go to Aldi rather than Tesco's. That'll make all the difference.
So it's your fault. Your fault was shite because you're using the wrong toilet roll. There you go. All right, I'll tell you what then. Any of you, do you think we've got a genuine good chance of getting to Wembley then? Lee?
50-50. Sorry, Lee. 50-50. Definitely 50-50.
Oh, of course it's 50-50.
I think yes, we have a chance. We have a good chance of getting to Wembley, but we need the players to up their game. It's as simple as that. We need Labrise to up his game.
I'm just trying to get your thoughts on it. Are you confident? Do you not think it's going to happen?
Everything depends on the first leg. If we
you're just going to sit on that fence, are you, Lee?
I'm going to sit on the fence because it depends the way we play. If we play like we played the last 5 games, we haven't got a catch challenge hands. A catch chance in hell. Sorry.
I know what you're trying to say. Say it in Spanish. You'll get it out there.
Hostia puta. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Okay. Right. Look, we got 9. We just. Oh, go on, Terry. Go on. Come in.
Unlike the House Martins, I won't be sitting on the fence. We're going to make it to Wembley. Come on.
Good lad. That's what I like. 9 more people. We just need 9 more likes. 9 people to just hit that thumbs up. We've got 182 people on the stream at the moment. 9 of you hit that thumbs up. That'll hit the magic 100 we like to get to on a Sunday night. And don't forget, if you are watching and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Free to do so. It'll take you a second to do that, and that does help get our numbers up on the channel. We go to Coventry for the first leg, Friday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. What's the minimum score you think we need to give us a chance of getting through then, Terry?
Worst case scenario, let's face it, look at Frank Lampard's doing a good job. They're a good side. They have a big crowd behind them. It is a really difficult challenge, all joking aside. But I think if we come away at worst case scenario, 2-1 defeat, we kind of come away with 2 goal deficit. We'll keep it within 1 goal. Anything higher than that, I think we're knackered. So I think we need a 2-1 defeat at worst, but I think we can come away with a draw or a victory.
Right, okay. Just very quickly, because you mentioned about on paper, Lee, you said on paper we got a better team than Coventry, but Pixel Rich is quick to point out to you that, as the great Brian Clough once said, on paper, we are the best team. The problem is the game's played on grass. So there you go. Minimum score you think we need to give us a chance, Lee?
Like I said, I think my prediction's a draw. But if we get a defeat, then as long as it's a narrow defeat by a goal, that we can come back to at the Stadium of Light. But as Terry said, if it's 2 goals or more, or if we get thumped like we did like a few weeks ago, then it's going to be really hard. Right.
Okay. We've got Emma on the chat, our very own Emma, which surprises me because she's at the arena tonight watching Ollie Mers. Ollie Mers. So what, Terry? Why are you pulling your face at Ollie Mers? What's the matter?
Oh,
she loves Ollie Mers. She loves anything like that.
What a load of crap.
Anyway, she's saying
watch Ollie Mers.
she can't stay, but a load of crap yesterday. We need a miracle for Friday. And she's quickly got on, done that, and she'll be back in now, screaming and chucking her knickers at Ollie Merce. So we'll be letting playing in a circus tent. Right, here we go. Right, let's take some predictions from you then, shall we? First leg, down at Coventry. Terry, what are you saying?
2-1 Sunderland win, a brace from me, Ender.
I'd be over the moon with that. Lee, what do you think?
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, Philly.
Right. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Sunderland win. I think our best chance is definitely down there. I still think that they're nailed on to get a goal at our place. So we'll see. There's people chucking predictions in the chat now. The Stardust says an away win 3-1. That would be absolutely over the moon. With that, I would. Coffee Goblin says 1-1. Ian Brown says 1-0 to Coventry. Stephen Clark, 3-0 win. May end a human Joe, please. 1 day all day. 2-0 Sunderland win. Ryan said John Nesbitt. 1-0 hopefully. 3-2 Sunderland win. Alan Taylor chucking them all in there. Right, okay. We haven't got that much longer left. So what I'll do, let's say we beat Coventry. We get to Wembley. It's Sheffield United or it's Bristol City. So we've made it to Wembley. Who's your preference, Lee?
I think probably preference you would say Bristol City, but I don't think so. I think Sheffield United will have too much of them over the 2 legs.
I know, but it's cup final, remember? Cup final. I mean, Sheffield United have been good. Terry, who are you going for?
Yeah, I think we'll end up playing Sheffield United. I think Bristol City won't be able to handle Sheffield United over 2 legs. I think their form has tapered off over the last few weeks. The struggle yesterday against Preston, I think they'll struggle against Sheffield United. Right,
so Sheffield United, who's got that terrible record in the playoffs, where
means absolutely nothing.
They've been beaten 4 times in the semis, and they've got to Wembley 4 times. And every time they've got to Wembley and lost, they haven't even scored a goal. All right. So if anybody's going to break that record,
different team, different year means absolutely diddly squat.
Oh, so in that case, then you're not bothered about Coventry then, because they're not our bogey team in your eyes, are they?
No, at the end of the day, it's on the day. It's 11 players on the pitch and that goddamn stupid referee. That's all it's down to.
Right. Okay. Look. Right. What I want to do before we go, I just need to do a quick plug for my show at the Wheat Sheaf because we wasn't sure it was going to be going ahead for the playoff semi-final second leg, but it is. It's going to be. We're going to be there. So if you go in the match, going to be a sellout. Everybody there, big away following and everything. It's going to be a great night at the Stadium of Light. The atmosphere is going to. I mean, the atmosphere. We've criticised the atmosphere at the Stadium of Light quite a few times this season, but I can guarantee you on Tuesday night it is going to be absolutely electric. So if you can get there, get there. If you haven't got a ticket yet, buy your ticket, get a ticket, go and support the lads, give us a chance to get into Wembley. And come into the Wheat Sheaf first before the game. Come and see us, have a sing-song, we'll get you up for it. Terry always used to come in with Wincy and all them to see us, but they don't bother anymore. And, you know what I mean? They'd rather
different buses now, 3 different buses, different times.
Well, I don't know. You know, I watched your vlog earlier today and I saw you milling about the stadium. I thought, still never came to see me. But never mind, I'm not bitter. It's fine.
That was a co-op last 2 and we just jumped over the bus.
Right, okay, whatever. Right, okay.
Because I ain't going on the fucking middle of the roundabout doing star jumps either, so you got no chance.
Right, okay. Listen, right, that does wrap it up. It's overall it's been a pretty good season. I think where we've finished, and it's not over yet. I know it's a bit doom and gloom, but let's hope we can at least get to Wembley. and have a day out there. And we will be back. We will be back next Sunday. I don't know if there's any commentaries going on. We'll all be. You'll be doing a commentary, will you, on Friday night? I don't think I will. I think I might be working somewhere doing a pre-match show. But anyway, we'll see about that. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let me just check on these likes quickly. We do like to get that magic 100. And we got 106. So thank you, you lot, for that. And we will be back next Sunday with another edition of the Sunday Bunch, discussing what went on Friday and if we've got a chance on Tuesday. So, Lee, in your best Spanish, would you just like to say bye to everybody?
Adiós a todos. Pasad buena semana. Mantener la fe. How are the lads? Keep the faith.
I love it. I love a bit of culture on the channel. Terry, in your best Durham accent, do you want to just say bye to everybody?
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's shit. All right, look, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell your pals about the channel. And if you are a channel member, don't forget to watch for your name in the credits at the end. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.